Welcome to Engineering Influence, a podcast for the American Council of Engineering Companies, and we are talking today about more of a conceptual issue, but one that really drives to the heart of engineering services and engineering as a science, and that is the question of technical excellence and what that means as it kind of applies to the practice of engineering. And to tackle this subject, I'm very pleased to be joined by three experts on the subject from HDR. We have with us today, and very, very pleased to have with us, Pratibha Basrao. She is the Applied Technology Director of HDR. Brad Johnson, he's a Professional Services Director. And Doug Wignall, he is the Architecture President at HDR. So different disciplines on the same topic. And I'd like to start it off really with Pratibha. What is technical excellence in your mind, and how does HDR define that?
Great question, Jeff. I think technical excellence can be defined in so many different ways, especially within the engineering context. We are all about design excellence. I happen to lead the Applied Technology Office at HDR, and bringing in technology is kind of my mission and the mission of my office. So I'm going to answer that question with a slight bent towards technology. So the way we look at it is really trying to bring in and integrating advanced capabilities, advanced technologies into our design practices, really enhancing the outcomes, bringing more value to our clients, improving the design process, where we can really hone in on bringing advanced capabilities, improving collaboration and stakeholder engagement, streamlining our workflows to have the best possible outcomes. That's the kind of way we in our office look at bringing in technical excellence to our work.
Brad, from your perspective as a professional services director, how do you define the idea of technical excellence?
Yeah, Jeff, I might actually expand the definition a bit and say, really, we look at it from a perspective of professional excellence, which encompasses technical excellence, but also covers, I would say, the aspects of creative excellence, or in the case of with architecture and Doug's group, design excellence. So I guess one thing I would say is that we would broaden that definition and look at it from a perspective of professional excellence. But really what it comes down to is expertise, and really bringing the best expertise to our clients and communities, and making sure that we as HDR are developing that expertise, that we're attracting that expertise to really be able to position ourselves in a way that offers subject matter expertise and expertise to our clients to help solve their toughest challenges and really help them serve their ultimate stakeholders and communities, and really be the firm that our clients want working on their toughest challenges. And so in the sense of developing that expertise and bringing that to our clients, that's really what I think from a professional excellence and technical excellence perspective, how we look at it.
Doug, building on those two ideas, both on the technical side and then also the client service side, being that trusted advisor, especially in the architecture group. I mean, architecture is an art in itself, and it has an importance to society, and we need to always continually to push that essentiality of engineering and architecture in the built environment. How do you see technical excellence come together in the architectural space?
Yeah, in our industry, design has a different kind of connotation or meaning. There's, of course, what you would expect, from a design perspective, that to deal with the aesthetics, but also how it functions, a building typology, how it functions. So for us, the technical part of a project is more of how we go about delivering it. And I would say at a minimum, the the technical delivery of our project, it needs to at least be able to consistently, deliver excellence across all of our building typologies. That's at a minimum. At a maximum, I think we're looking at ways that it can actually augment the design process and augment the design outcomes and, our solutions that we're creating. And we can talk more about that maybe a bit later in the podcast.
Absolutely. One of the things that, of course, we can talk about technical excellence and the objective or the strategic aim to reach technical excellence across an organization. But of course, when it comes to actually implementing it, you need processes and procedures that allow staff to a methodology to reach excellence and technical excellence. So at HDR, and I guess let's start off with Brandon on this, or Bradford, sorry. How does HDR kind of put the policies and procedures in place for actually accomplishing this?
Well, really, I think it starts with our organization. Putting in place an organization that really emphasizes, promotes, and really underscores technical excellence and professional excellence. And so, from an organizational perspective, from our professional services directors that lead the technical excellence initiatives within each of our business groups, to business class directors, to folks that are focused on technical excellence within our geographical operating units. Really, I think it starts with our organization to emphasize how important it is to develop our expertise, to continue to strengthen the services that we offer to our clients. And so I think it starts there with our organization. And with those folks that I mentioned, we really have a strong organizational emphasis that helps to really reinforce that culture of technical excellence. And so that I'd say it starts there first and foremost.
And kind of building on that, the idea of technology and how quickly it is advancing and integrating itself within the core business model for engineering firms and really across the economy. But we're seeing it, of course, sweep, across the engineering industry. From your perspective as the applied technology, Pratibha, how would you see, the pace of technology either complicating or how do you deal with that and make sure that you're onboarding new technologies or you're exploring new opportunities, but you're still maintaining that level of excellence with staff that it doesn't dilute any of the performance that HDR sees? Yeah,
Jeff, the way we look at it, the pace of change is only accelerating, right? There is no pause button. It's sometimes it's overwhelming to see how many new capabilities, new technologies that are coming at us. Where I think we have done a very good job is in building that framework and kind of alluding to what Brad was talking about. We have regional and national and global leadership that we have established within our company to help kind of parse through those technologies, parse through those capabilities, and bring the best to the rest of the enterprise. The Applied Technology Office works with each of our business units, and architecture included, and others. We have several, and their technical leadership as well. And we work with our major vendors, our key stakeholders, and evaluate those technologies and really adopt them at scale. And it includes a lot of IT. There's your traditional IT administration issues, but then there is this new environment of governance where how do we manage our data? How do we secure it? How do we take care of our clients' data? That is extremely valuable. How do we reduce risk from the new ways of collaboration, which are increasingly in the cloud? How do we manage and mitigate those risks? That's important. And then finally, how do we bring all of those capabilities to our users and make sure they have an opportunity to learn new skills, to train, and then to include them in their workflows. So it's a very interesting, super busy time for us, and it's increasingly getting more and more fun, that's what keeps us going.
Yeah, it's a rapidly changing environment. Data security, how data is handled, especially on international projects, the work that's being done with foreign partners, with federal clients, with CMMC. These are all things that complicate the business of engineering. Let's go over to Doug. I want to kind of go into what you mentioned before about the architecture side and how the design process is, because increasingly there's a building itself is not a building in itself anymore. Everybody's looking for multi-use, mixed use. If it's a transportation system, or a train station or something, it's multimodal. How's HDR presenting itself as a trusted advisor to clients who want increasingly more complex designs and the performance that they want their buildings or structures to actually come out with in the design process?
We happen to specialize in very complex building typologies, so like health facilities and laboratories that have multiple systems. So the whole effort to deliver a design is it's a very complex task. And I think one of the things that we've been focusing on over the past year or so is, being a large company that has hundreds of offices and literally thousands of projects that we deliver every year, to consistently deliver them is a challenge, right? So we've focused on BIM content, the building model, right? And all the content, to make sure that we're actually completing all of it, so we can actually use content that is consistent across our entire platform. And what that will do is that it will hopefully reduce error. It will, it'll increase the amount of time that humans can spend on the design part of a project by, reducing the amount of time they spend on some of these mundane tasks. And that, also building intelligence into this content, I think, is part of the process as well. Now, it's not necessarily artificial intelligence. It's building code information, it's building clearances, it's building sizes, and those types of things. So when you actually put them into the model, they're more than just lines. They're actual objects that actually have intelligence built into them.
It's truly amazing what technology is allowing engineers and architects to do, to put so much data and create those models where it does create this independent digital twin or digital copy of a design that allows for a lot of control and the erasing of a lot of questions, especially when it gets to the construction phase of a project. And it's something which is very interesting, which I know our industry is doing a lot of work, with its partners and in developing those tools. And of course, as those tools become more readily on the market, as things evolve, really to the point of professional development, Brad, how does HDR approach that continual learning that needs to happen with staff? The fact that as the industry evolves, as these new tools become available, that you want to make sure that your teams are the best suited to apply those technologies for their clients.
Sure. Really a tremendous effort placed on career development, making sure that our folks have the ability to experience training, to continue to look for opportunities to, sharpen their saws, if you will, and help to enhance their expertise, to really continue to strengthen their skills. And again, overall, from an organizational perspective, ensure that we are able to deliver the best expertise to our clients and communities. And so we have got a number of opportunities from a training perspective, but I think also one thing we do just to kind of help really drive that culture of technical excellence is recognition through programs such as our Professional Associates program, where we recognize and promote our technical and creative experts within the organization, and not only recognize and promote them, but also bestow upon them the responsibility of sharing their knowledge as with younger professionals, mentoring younger professionals, and also participating both internally and externally within industry to help really drive the state of the practice for that area of expertise that they specialize in. So we have about 750 professional associates within our organization that we really look to as our technical and design and creative experts, and really to foster that sense of technical and professional excellence across the company. Another program that we have here at HDR that really serves to advance that culture of professional and technical excellence is a fellowship program, where every year we award anywhere from 3 to 6 fellowships for individuals within HDR to advance research within their area of expertise, with the idea that they will help to develop concepts, thought leadership that will advance the state of the practice, help support our clients, and really develop solutions that would have not developed it quite as quickly if not funded through that research or that fellowship program. So all of that combined, really just a focus to help help encourage our folks to advance technical leadership and really build that culture that kind of helps establish us as that professional and technical leaders within the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a significant number of. I mean, it's amazing. Everything that goes into kind of going after this goal of technical excellence, and it really just shapes the culture. I mean, thinking about this in terms of just Doug, from your perspective as president of architecture, how does that really define the culture of HGR?
I think that, the work that we deliver is completely dependent on performance, right? There's outcomes as a result of the projects that we design that have real value to clients if they're executed properly. And it's all about that technical delivery of these projects that I think is fundamental to what we are. And we're in a competitive marketplace. And quite frankly, if our technical solutions are superior to our competitors, the likelihood of us, winning work and growing and prospering is greater as a result of that. So it's fundamental to everything that we are as industries and professionals.
Absolutely. Well, it's an interesting subject. I mean, there's much more to dig into here, and maybe we can extend the conversation further, and maybe dig into individual areas of technical excellence as it applies to HDR. But for now, I think it's a good way of broaching the topic at a surface level and and introducing it. So I do want to thank you all for joining us. Again, Pratibha Basrao, Applied Technology Director, Brad Johnson, Professional Services Director, and Doug Wignall, Architecture President with HDR. Thank you so much for joining us today. And again, this has been Engineering Influence, a podcast from the American Council of Engineering Companies, and we will see you next time.